then some practical things that you can do to actually increase your zone of influence. The first thing is to build a strong track record. So you want to do things in the world. You actually want to create things. You want to build things. And then as you are doing that, you want to create a track record. You want to create a portfolio. You want to create a place where people can see what you have done. And a CV is a classical example of this. But in the modern world, it's also good to have products, to present products, to show people what you are capable of doing. The second thing that you can do is foster relationships with people. Especially nowadays, it's rare to have long-term relationships with people, to have long-term business relationships, right? Many millennials quit their job after 2 years, but actually building a long-term relationship allows us to get exponential growth because we can trust each other. We can work on projects that take multiple years to finish. And once again, one of my favorite quotes by Naval Ravikant is where he says, "We want to play long-term games with long-term people. And in order for ourselves to be a long-term person, we want to be ethical. We want to be moral. We want to show people that if you collaborate with me, I'm going to be fair to you. And I'm here for the long game, right? 5 years from now, you can still build on me. 20 years from now, you can still build on me. And as we do that, we increase our zone of influence because people know that they can rely on us. The next thing that we can do, and this is so underrated but so important, is to take initiative and be proactive. I was having a conversation about this with my brother the other day, and we were just sort of thinking like how rare it is for people to just take initiative in their job, to be proactive, to do something that they weren't necessarily asked to do or expected to do, but saw an opportunity or saw something that could be improved, and that could be in their job, that could be in the world, to just take initiative, to start something just because you think that is something that needs to happen. This is so rare, and it shouldn't be rare because, first of all, it's fun to do things, and second of all, that is how we improve the world. And on the one side, it's, pretty shitty that it's so rare. On the other side, that is a beautiful opportunity for you to step up and do something that nobody else wants to do. Next up, developing social skills, right? We already talked about building relationships, but social skills are super important, especially if you want to influence that human part of the leverage, right? You want to be able to speak. You want to be able to speak your thoughts. You want to be able to write, to listen, to have conversations with people, to help them feel understood. You want to know how the human mind works, how to influence people, right? There's this whole landscape that you can navigate, this social landscape, and mastering your social skills will give you much, much more influence. The fifth thing that we can do is to become an expert at something, to become really, really, really good at something. And the piece of advice I would give here is to pick something that is a niche that is unique to you. So it can be very easy to try to become an expert in something that there's already a lot of experts in. If I'm just going to become an expert at online marketing, or if I'm going to become an expert at football, I need to compete with people that are really, really, really good at what they do. So either I need to spend 90 hours per week, need to be super talented, need to make this my life to become that top 1%, or what I can do is I can look for a unique niche. I can look for a place where, for me, it becomes very easy to become the expert. So in my particular case, for example, there's these different parts of my life that I'm bringing together in my expertise, right? So I'm an expert, not like a world-leading expert, but I'm an expert on personal development, on personal well-being. I'm an expert on design. I've been trained as a designer. I'm an expert on content creation. I know how to make podcasts. I know how to make videos. And I'm an expert at social skills. Now, any of these four things, I would maybe be in like top 10% of the world. Like I'm good at it, but I'm definitely not the Usain Bolt of design. But overlapping these four things, all of a sudden you get this unique little niche where I'm in the top 0.1% because I'm a designer that understands personal development and I know how to make content about that, right? I create a Notion system, a practical tool. I design and build that based on personal development and spiritual growth and all these deep underlying concepts. And then I'm creating a series around that to present that to people. And all of a sudden, the niche for myself, I've made that much smaller. And then I'm deciding to become an expert in this particular niche. And I think that will be my main advice. If you become an expert in a unique niche. And that niche should ideally also match your personality. The product market founder fit, right? You want to have a market, you want to have a product, but you also want to have the founder matching in there. You want you to be the guy to actually fill that niche, because that's what you need in order to do the long run. So that's on the becoming an expert part. And then the last thing that you want to do, you want to actually deliver valuable output. Now, I've thought about this a lot for myself, and the way I conceptualize this, there's an axis, right? And on the left side of the axis, you have the artist, and on the right side of the axis, you have the producer. Now, an entrepreneur, someone who's really building things, someone who's in business, is completely on this side. They're trying to produce for other people. An artist is someone who is mainly producing for themselves. They're scratching their own itch. There's something that I want to let out. Now, the way you can think about this is that production is value for other people. I'm not actually going to write that out all the way. Artistry is value for ourselves. And the choice that everyone needs to make for themselves is on this spectrum. How much do I want to create value for myself? How much do I want to create value for other people? But regardless of where you choose to be on the spectrum, you want to create value. You want to create things that actually fill a need, that actually fill a desire. And then once again, of course, we use this value for that track record. And these are just 6 practical things that you can do to increase your zone of influence.